Hey guys, welcome back to another Chili Billy video. Today's video is going to be a collection update video. I have DVDs, I got Blu-Rays, and I have SteelBooks. Most of my DVDs are wrestling documentaries, so I will show the other stuff first before I show those. I'll start off with your gang story, History of the Little Rascals. I used to have this on VHS at one time. It covers over 20 years and 200 episodes of the Hal Roach childhood magic. It's a real good documentary. I really enjoy it. That's the R Gang, History of the Little Rascals. And I have Survival of the Dead, the Ultimate Undead Edition. I tried to get one of these because I saw it on Totally Walnut's video. Here's special features. Introduction by George A. Romero. Audio commentary with George A. Romero and crew. Walking at the Midnight documentary. Sarge short film. A Minute of Your Time, 13 behind the scenes shorts, Time with George, storyboard comparison, heads on stakes, how to create your own zombie bite, Frangor interview with George A. Romero, HDNet, a look at Survival of the Dead. This came out by Magnet Video. Here's the disc. That's Survival of the Dead, the Ultimate Undead Edition. Now I picked up Trick. I haven't seen this yet. It looks pretty good. I'll probably watch this tonight. Always choose Treat. From the director of My Buddy Valentine. Yeah, that's why I still have sealed. I don't open it up yet. This slipcover is awesome. And you have special feature, Making of Trick, featuring interviews with the cast and crew. This stars Tom Atkins. That's Trick. And then I have Charles Bronson and Death Wish 1 through 5. A complete collection. Includes all 5 films and Blu-Ray. And of course you get this. This is by Final Cut Entertainment. You get Death Wish. You get Death Wish 2, Death Wish 3, Death Wish 4, and Death Wish 5. This is region. I believe this is region B. There's disc 1, Death Wish. There's Death Wish 2, Death Wish 3, Death Wish 4, The Crackdown, Death Wish 5, Face of Death. By uncovering the changes in a patient's DNA, AHN doctors can find the And Charles Bronson and Death Wish 1 through 5, Blu-ray. Now coming up is a lot of wrestling documentaries I bought. I love documentaries, and especially on wrestling. And I bought these. And the first one is the history of the WWE, 50 years of sports entertainment. It's a 2-disc set. There's Bruno Sammartino there. I don't know who that is. Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. And The Rock. And these are some of the bonus material you'll get. Bruno Sammartino's Epic Championship reign comes to an end in Baltimore, Maryland. Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant in front of over 93,000. Austin 316 is born. Generation X. Generation Clyde at WrestleMania 18. Mr. McMahon purchases WCW. Blu-ray exclusive stories not found on original documentary. And so much more. Here's disc 1. Here's disc 2. They show here in the back and they show what's on the each of the discs. That's disc 1, you get the documentary. And down here is the exclusives.
Police officers, firefighters, and a good Samaritan are being recognized for their life-saving actions in Center.
Here's disc 2
Back in January, an elderly woman
on the matches.
On a freezing cold night. Police officer Dennis Fleming put together a search party with fellow officers and firefighters. They later found the woman alive in a small ravine, all thanks to the help of a driver passing by. And last night, the community said thank you for their work ceremony. Local kids with special needs have a
And you can also buy the book
today. Variety donated almost 24 adaptive bikes
on that.
The group has given out more than 1,200 devices during the pandemic alone.
As the history of the WWE, 50 years of sports entertainment. We have Eric Bischoff, Sports Entertainment's most controversial figure. Includes Eric Bischoff's top 10 most controversial moments. GBL show with guest Eric Bischoff. Raw, December 5th, 2005, the trial of Eric Bischoff, and more. This region A. This one's also a 2-disc set. Here's disc 1. Here's disc 2. Also behind this Blu-ray, you get here's disc 1. What's on it? Then there's 2. As how about that? That's what you see on disc 2.
Now this one that's been hanging out along northern Lawrence County back into Ohio has triggered a
Shows a lot of stuff.
The heaviest rain has been back in Ohio, so we'll be watching for that threat to cross over the state line. Generally, temperatures next couple days in the upper 70s. A few showers around tomorrow that
Eric Bischoff, sports entertainment's most controversial figure. Then I have Andre the Giant, even bigger than you imagine. This HBO sports documentary, and it comes with the Andre the Giant mini fathead inside. I mean, I watched it on HBO. There's a great documentary on Andre the Giant. They show a couple matches, but there's more on here. There's the disc. There's the fathead of Andre the Giant. And here's another photograph of him. He's a big man. Andre the Giant, even bigger than you imagine. Now, as we got to the end of the day, history and tradition, the story of the National Wrestling Alliance. The National Wrestling Alliance is the oldest sanctioning and governing body in professional wrestling. The NWA title has the most storied history in the sports dating back to the 1900s. Learn of the men who held the title in its heyday to the men who are trying to keep the heritage alive today. The NWA World Title legacy has never been diminished, but it still means everything. But does it still mean it? Does it still mean everything? Find out in History and Tradition, the story of the National Wrestling Alliance. New disc. History and Tradition, and that the story of the National Wrestling Alliance. Next up is the triumph and tragedy of the world-class championship wrestling.
The picture-perfect takeoff and landing took place exactly 52 years after that famous Apollo 11 moon mission. Bezos hopes today's 10-minute, 65-mile-high space hop will be one giant leap for space tourism.
In the 1980s, wrestling events in Texas were like rock concerts. Fans flocked to arenas to experience the excitement of world-class championship wrestling, but just as quickly as it rose to popularity, sorry about that, WCCW burned out through a series of traumatic losses. That's some of the bonus material you get. Fritz, Mike, and David Von Erich versus the Freebirds. Gentleman Chris Adams and Sunshine versus Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Galvin and Precious. Fantastics versus Midnight Express. There's disc 1. And here's disc 2. And then this, back then you had a chance to win DVD collection. 2008 DVD collection. That's Triumph and Tragedy. Excuse me. A world-class championship wrestling. Next up, I have American Wrestling Association, AWA. The spectacular legacy of the American Wrestling Association, AWA. There's Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter. That's Jerry the King Lawler there. Now, maybe Shawn Michaels, I'm not too sure. There's Mean Gene Okerlund, Marty Jannetty, Kurt Hennig, Bobby Heenan, and Hulk Hogan. More than a dozen bonus matches, many never before released on DVD, including Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Sato and Mr. Hattori. AWA Championship match, Baron Gandhi versus Baron Von Raschke. AWA Tag Team Championship match, Baron Gandhi and Mad Dog Vachon versus Jesse the Body Ventura and Adrian Adonis. Legion of Doom versus the Crusher, Jerry the Axe Hennig, and Kurt Hennig. AWA Championship match, Hulk Hogan versus Nick Bockwinkel, and many more. Let's do the 2-disc set. Here's disc 1. Here's disc 2. This may not be Shawn Michaels, but it looks like him, but I don't think it's him though. That's the spectacular legacy of the American Wrestling Association, AWA. Next up is the rise and fall of ECW. A 6-hour 2-disc set. There's the extras. 7 bonus matches. Includes Pitbull versus Raven and Stevie Richards. Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis. Mickey Whipwreck versus the Sandman. 2 Gold Scorpio versus Taboo. Tommy Dreamer versus Raven. Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Sorry about that. Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. Includes alternate commentary. There's just one. And this 2. Rise and fall of ECW. And we have the rise and fall of WCW. I watched this the other night and it's real good. Really, really good. Matches include Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the Rock and Roll Express versus Midnight Express, an FCW World Tag Team Championship match, the Steiner Brothers versus Sting and Lex Luger, WCW International World Heavyweight Championship match, Rick Rude versus Sting, WCW World Heavyweight Championship match, Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan, War Games match, Team WCW, Sting, Lex Luger, Ric Flair, and Arn Anderson versus Team NWO, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Mystery Partner, Diamond Dallas Page versus and Carl Malone versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and Dennis Rodman, Goldberg versus Diamond Dallas Page, and more. More than a dozen more matches on it. This is disc 1. The documentary. There's disc 2 and disc 3, which has the matches. And it comes with the little pamphlet here with the information on what's on each disc. This is disc 1. This is disc 2. Here's disc 3. And then they have a thing here that you can get the WWE, the Classic on Demand. I don't know if they still have that. Monday Night War is back on. Rise and Fall of WCW. And I have the history of the Intercontinental title. Nice embossed cover. Here's disc 1. That's mine, that. Here's on disc 1. There's a booklet that comes with it. Some of the matches are on here. There's disc 2.
As 2 new cases surfaced with an administration official and a staffer for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, both of whom
There's disc 2. There's what's on disc 3. Here's disc, here's disc 3. That's the history of the Intercontinental Championship. And I have history of the World Heavyweight Championship. There's chapters of disc 1.
The speaker won't say if she'll veto Leader McCarthy's choices, but did say how lawmakers voted on the election is not a criteria for service.
Here's disc 1.
Will hold its first hearing with police officers who were on the front lines during the Capitol attack.
There's disc 2.
Thank you so much. All right, disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein was extradited from New York to California today to face additional sexual assault charges. Weinstein could appear in court as early as
There's disc 2.
charges including 5 women in Los Angeles. He was already sentenced in New York last year to 23 years in prison for rape and
There's disc 3.
assault. We're going to turn now to the sticker shock many parents are seeing as they begin to buy back-to-school items. This summer, more than half
Disc
of
3.
shoppers have started buying supplies, and what they're
And it comes with a booklet here with Ric Flair on it. It tells you what's on disc 1 as the chapters, special features, and extras. There's disc 2, which are the matches. And there's disc 3. Special features. There's a history of the World Heavyweight Championship. Then I have the history of the championship. This one has no booklet at all. Here's on disc 1. There's disc 1. Here's disc 2, what's on it. Here's disc 2. And here's disc 3. And what's on it. There's disc 3. There's a history of the World Championship. And then the last of my DVDs is the top 50 superstars of all time. I seen this advertised on WrestleMania Blu-ray. I wanted to see if I can get it, and I got it. Roddy Piper. I think I Ricky Steamboat there. The Rock. Shawn Michaels, Harley Race, Sergeant Slaughter, Triple H, Jake the Snake Roberts, Dusty Rhodes, Kurt Hennig, over there, right here. That's Junkyard Dog, John Cena, Rick Rude, Ted DiBiase, The Iron Sheik, Jack Briscoe, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Show. Looks like Eddie Guerrero there. And there's The Undertaker. And this one have no book either, so there's disc 1. Here's disc 2. And here's disc 3. I have no idea which one is. Oh, here we go. Here's the back. I didn't show the back. It's my fault. I apologize for that. We have some stuff you get on it. NWA World Championship, World Heavyweight Championship match. Lou Thesz versus Argentina Rocca. NWA World Heavyweight Championship match. Jack Briscoe versus Dory Funk Jr. Boxing match. Gorilla Monsoon versus Andre the Giant. 6-man tag team elimination match. Ricky Dragon Steamboat, Roddy Piper, and Junkyard Dog versus reigning Metro Man Savage, Harley Race, and Adrian Adonis. Fatal 4. Fatal 4-way for the WWE Championship. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock versus Triple H versus Kurt Angle. Raw, April 23rd, 2001. Undertaker, Kane, Matt Hardy, and Jeff Hardy versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, and Christian. That was the top 50 superstars of all time. Now for the Blu-Rays. For the SteelBooks. This one I saw on. This is one of two I've seen on Bloody Walnut's video. This is a Theater of Blood Blu-ray. And it came in these plastic cases. It's curtains for his critics. There's the special features if you want to, you can pause and read it. This is a 2014 release. These were out of print. I was able to find these. Excuse me. At the Theater of Blood. And I got another one with that. It's Edgar Allan Poe's The Pit and the Pendulum with Vincent Price. If you want to read these synopsises, there's the special edition contents. And this too is a 2014 release. They're long out of print. And then I got these next 4 in a lot, which I will show. These are Undead SteelBooks. And here's the first one. This is the complete cut. I got these in a lot, all 4 of them. This is the complete cut. 156 minutes. This is the only one that's open. The other 3 are sealed. There's Zombie Dawn of the Dead, in which this is the Argento cut. These last 2 I don't have in my collection. It's this one here, the extended version. I don't know how well it shows up. It looks like his hand's coming up right at you. And this is the extended version, which runs 140 minutes. And then the last one is the Romero cut. That's another awesome cover. 127 minutes. Now they all say region B, but I read that it was they're like region free. Well, let's have a recap here, folks. We have the R Gang story, history of the Little Rascals, Survival of the Dead, Extreme Ultimate Undead Edition, Trick. All Death Wish movies, 1 through 5. History of the WWE, 50 years of sports entertainment. Eric Bischoff, sports entertainment's most controversial figure. Andre the Giant, even bigger than you imagine. History and tradition, the story of the National Wrestling Alliance. The crime and tragedy of world-class championship wrestling. The spectacular legacy of the American Wrestling Association, AWA. The rise and fall of ECW. The rise and fall of WCW. History of the Intercontinental Championship. History of the World Heavyweight Championship. The history of the championship. Top 50 superstars of all time. Theater of Blood, Era Video's SteelBook. Edgar Allan Poe's Pit and the Pendulum, SteelBook from Era Video. Which now becomes my third. Makes it my third one now. I got 3 of them already. We have Zombie Dawn of the Dead. That's the complete cut. You got Zombie, which is the European cut. There's the extended cut and Romero cut. That's it, folks, for this the discussion update. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. As always, I thank you much for watching, and please subscribe. And hope you enjoy the video.